And welcome back to What If. What if Sakura was a Senju? Now, obviously, we did give her the wood release, so that is in here. We last left off on the What If Sakura was a Senju. We are on part 4 now. They had just entered the Chunin exam. I don't mean the exams. I mean the preliminary matches. So, we left off there. The Hokage's talking about, the match they're going to have to fight. And then Haku's the one who's actually going to be the referee this time around. Which, just like, I hope I hope you don't go too easy on me, Haku. I want to earn this fair and square. I actually don't think she would. I think because Haku's actually more mature individual, she would actually find herself more legitimately attracted to Haku. Because despite the fact, he's still awesome, attractive, and all that, he actually, doesn't necessarily shy away from the attention she's giving him. He's more like, oh, that's nice. It's like, you look nice. He would actually maybe give her a compliment and things like that, which make her really happy and blush and stuff like that. But besides that, they got to bring professional right now. Obviously, Kabuto drops. Now, ultimately, I don't have to change anything in the preliminary matches except Sakura's, Sasuke's, and Naruto's bout. Sasuke, and even then, there's not much to change to Sasuke's. He still wins. He wins it more easily than he does in the original because he doesn't have the curse mark on him. Kakashi even asks, we need to talk about what curse mark? It's like, what? Huh? It's like, let me sit back here and come on in for a sec. Oh, no, Sasuke's fine. You would go through pretty much the entire fights. Now, once you get to the Ino versus Sakura fight, Sakura would come up, and they'd both get down there. They would both be, ready to fight, and Sakura would probably start bragging. It's like, look, it's like you're my friend. I don't want you hurt. So I mean, maybe it's best if you just give up now. I mean, I don't want to hurt you too much. And then just like, is that right? And I think would be legitimately surprised because for what it is, Sakura and her are still friends. They're rivals, but they're friends. But at the same time, Sakura's got a big head on her still. She's still got a big head. I mean, it definitely got lowered a bit when Orochi that ship got knocked off her perch for her shoulder for a little bit when Orochimaru came, but it's kind of back there again because she's back around people she can view as relative equals, or inferiors, if you will. So Sakura's just Ino's a little taken back, but then she pulls off her headband from her belt and it's like she puts it on her forehead. It's like, you remember our promise, Sakura? And then Sakura's like, oh yeah, the promise. And then Gina's like, I remember. And then she decides to take off the headband, and they start. And it starts off initially the same way. Taijutsu match. They use a couple of the clan jutsu or the academy jutsus. Sakura's like, all right, that's enough. Earth style mud wall. And then Ino basically, uses some clones to go around Sakura, or go around the wall to come at Sakura. Sakura immediately uses some water style jutsu to just kind of. I'm trying to remember which water styles I actually had her learn. Oh yeah, I think I had her learn the water needle from Haku and just the standard water style jutsu. Yeah, that's what I had her learn. So she uses, this was it water style raging current or something like that. I can't remember. So just, I believe it's basically it looks like you're doing the fireball jutsu, but water comes out instead. So just. Blast them, and they disappear. Whereas Ino suddenly is about to do the mind transfer jutsu, but then Sakura's like, was like, what style? What's their jutsu? I don't know if that's what it's called. Basically, the shadow snake, but with wood. She grabs it, and everyone sees that and is shocked. Like, what? She knows the wood style jutsu. Sakura Haruno Senju. It's like, that's right, and she starts bragging again. And Sasuke, while he's taking Sakura seriously, would probably be like, "Oh God!" It's like, why are you bragging? Why do you think this doesn't make me impressed by you? This makes me think you're an idiot. And Naruto, he's still cheering for Sakura. He's like, why would she do that? Even Naruto, surprisingly, because he's definitely stronger than his canon counterpart in this. He's had a little bit more experience in the field and fighting. Has learned, I think, at this point, the end, though he still shows off, saving something for later down the road. She revealed it really early, and now everyone knows because, I mean, with the exception of Team Guy, everyone in the Leaf Village all the Rookie 9 knew she had it because they were in the same class. But everyone else who's not who was not in the class or who isn't a Leaf Village ninja, they didn't know about it. And then Sakura is like, oh god, you had to make everyone know. Well, there's gonna, and so Kage's like, oh, well, it's gonna come out anyway. And she grabs Ino's hands and is like, nope, I can't let you do that, Ino pig. So all of a sudden she sees Ino's hands come back together, except they're now making some hand signs. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what you're going to do. Deep force creation or deep force emergence. What's out deep force emergence? Which someone asked me why I gave her that if Tenzo couldn't do that or Yamato couldn't do that. Because she's actually a natural Senju, it makes more sense she could learn that. But at the same time, it's nowhere and probably will never be on the same level as the first Hokage. She doesn't have the chakra reserves for that. Even being a Senju, she doesn't have the chakra reserves for that. So, but still, it'd be enough to fill the minor bit in the area where Ino is. So Ino is starting to get tangled up, but she's still able to complete the hand signs. Like, it's over, Ino, and all of a sudden she hears fire style, fireball jutsu, and all of a sudden a giant fireball comes ripping through the trees she just made, setting everything in blaze. And Sakura immediately has to detach and do a water jutsu to get the hell to try to block it, but she can't block it. And then she actually gets burned on her left arm pretty severely. Not like crippled burn, like it will heal up, but she gets a good solid burn on her arm. And I never actually specified if her wardrobe changed. I don't think it would. She might, I don't know, wear like a sash or something like with the Senju marker on or something. I don't know. Even then, I don't think she would. I think she would still be wearing that pink outfit without the sleeves, which means her arm's even more exposed. At least with sleeves, the sleeves go first before the arm. So she's like, ah! And then Ino's able to get out of there, but she also suffers from some burns as well because she set a force. She's inside on fire. So her burns are more superficial. So they're more like second degree burns. Sakura's got close to, not full on third degree, but close to third degree burns on her arm. And Sakura's now backpedaling here, just, and she's going, and then Ino, who's still, now why did I give Ino fire? Well, it said, I think, water and earth are her jutsus, or her chakra elements, but the problem with that is, when I checked Hinata's, it said lightning and fire. I can see where the fire came in. I never knew where the lightning was coming in, but maybe like with some of them, if I focused on it, I could see the lightning. There was one earth jutsu she used, but it was an anime only, so that doesn't mean her actual chakra element may have been earth. In fact, I think it may have said anime only on that, and even if water was her chakra element, she never demonstrated water jutsu in the manga to the best of my knowledge, so screw it. Most of the Hidden Leaf Village has fire element. I decided to give her fire element. Don't like that? Don't care. It makes for better storytelling. So Ino, still though, something like that is taxing on Ino. Like, Kunoichi just don't have the chakra reserves that Shinobi do. They just don't. Female ninjas don't have the chakra reserves. It's just biology, unfortunately, for them. So she couldn't do more than maybe one or two of those without being exhausted, but she was still able to get it off. And Sakura's, and then Ino comes in again. Like, gotcha. She's trying to again use her mind transfer jutsu. Sakura's trying to get out of the way, using the water on the ground, or she was until she realized the fire pretty much evaporated the water she had made. So she uses an earth-style mud wall again to creating another barrier, but this time Ino's prepared by substituting herself with one of the pieces of tree that was smoldering behind Sakura, and she appears again. This time doesn't go to the mind transfer jutsu, just clocks Sakura, just boom, just and then Sakura is reeling, but at that point Ino does the mind transfer jutsu and just boom, and then she just it's like she holds her hand up. Unfortunately, Naruto's still there, and Naruto would still very much be like, "Don't give up, Sakura, you can do it!" And then cha-cha-cha, you get Inner Sakura. They both they both are just they get back in their bodies. They're both tired as hell, and they both just boom knock each other out again. That's exactly how it goes down. They just boom. You get that those two punches right there, and they knocked her out. You might be surprised, like, you gave Ino the win over Sakura? Nope. I tied it. I gave Ino enough that she could match Sakura. Now, and remember, while this first could make wood jutsu, wood, like, constructs, stuff like that, that were resistant and pretty heavily resistant to fire, Sakura, that was the first Hokage we're talking here. Sakura is still relatively young and new with her wood jutsu. There's no doubt in my mind that a solid fire jutsu could probably tear through anything she makes. So they get knocked out, and yeah, so it ultimately stays the same on there. Then you get the Naruto-Kiba fight, which will end with Naruto winning because Naruto isn't lacking anything he didn't already have in the canon. But still, Naruto would go. Let's work this out because we have given him a couple extra techniques here. So Naruto, it's the same thing again with him. I'm gonna be Hokage, and then Kiba's getting ready to charge in. However, Naruto, I think, would be smart and actually already be charging himself up with chakra for his Ultra Instinct. So his hair, walking down, his hair's already flared a little bit. He's got a little bit of the red and, well, blue in his case. His eyes are a bit more blue. That's the thing. When he's using the Fox Chakra with Ultra Instinct, as we're calling it, his eyes would actually probably turn red. Not have the slip, but turn red. And he'd probably
have more red highlights in his hair. Like his hair would be a deeper yellow, possibly verging on orange or even red. Whereas with his normal chakra, it would be a bit more akin to, because his normal chakra is blue. Though I think he wants to call it yellow. So it was kind of yellowish. But I think it'd look a bit more like Goku. Like his eyes might become more like a silver blue, and his hair might just go a little bit more like a silvery blue as well. Not quite like Ultra Instinct Omen, but something a bit more like that. So, Kiba comes in and he's like, "Wah!" And then he tries to immediately hit Naruto, but Naruto's just like, and then boom, just lands a shot on Kiba that Kiba did not see coming, and that no one honestly saw coming besides Sakura and Sasuke, because I don't think he not saw coming, but she's impressed. She is impressed by Naruto. So, besides Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke, no one actually saw it coming. Just boom, and Kiba goes flying back. Just cleansing. It's like, what? Lucky shot. Yeah, probably. Probably dog breath. It's like, all right, let's try this again. All right, fang over fang. It's like, I'm gonna get you. Now Kiba, enhancing himself with chakra, was a physically more powerful foe than Naruto. In terms of actual straight hand-to-hand fighting, I think Naruto was... Kiba was better because he actually had a style. Naruto was just a brawler at that point. So, Kiba with enhanced speed still isn't able to hit Naruto per se, but Naruto can easily tell, because that would be a thing when using it. He'd be able to actually adjust, because he has to react, basically. He has to adjust to people's movements, so he'd be able to gauge people's movements and speed a lot better. Not physical power, because he'd have to be hit by that. So he could already tell when Kiba came at him that Kiba was someone who can move pretty fast. Not as fast as he is using his abilities. Because right now, with Naruto using his own chakra for this, he's easily in the high tuning level for his Ultra Instinct. When using the Fox's chakra, he's easily in the mid to high Jonin level. And if you increase it by tails, it escalates. Just because Naruto has so much chakra he can use, and plus he's already been working with his form a lot. It's nowhere near Master, but he's already working with his form. The Master version of the form would be not using chakra at all, obviously, kind of like what we saw with Dragon Ball Z. Goku is just using, divine ki on a different level. But anyway, Naruto, Kiba is trying to, hit him, just Naruto is just dodging, block, and he takes a block, and you can tell he can't afford to be hit by Kiba too many times. So he comes in and just lands another kick straight on Kiba, who's just like, all right, Akamaru, let's do this. And then turns into red. He's like, what? And then Kiba turns into another Kiba, and they both come at each other, just fang over fang. He's like, oh, and even Naruto's like, crap. And then he's doing the best he can to get out of the way, but even he can't avoid these for very long. And he's starting to get scuffed and just, all of a sudden they both just collide and just, he just gets thrown back. Just, and he's on the ground, but he gets up. That the best you got? Come on, kid. You talk tough at first, but you're nothing. You're not gonna be Okage. I'm gonna be Okage. And then Naruto's like, what did you say? It's like, I said you can't. You don't have the takes to be a Okage, wimp. I'm gonna be Okage. And then Naruto just starts pumping more of his chakra into his Ultra Instinct, and then it's just a couple Shadow Clones who are all look the same, like Naruto's like, okay. You think a clone jutsu is going to scare me and Akamaru? You're sadly mistaken. Let's go, Akamaru! And then, again, him and Akamaru go after Naruto. All the Naruto clones are now dodging to the best of their abilities. Come from, just all appear basically from behind and just Shadow Shuriken jutsu the hell out of Kiba, who he assumed that the momentum that they were going at and spinning at would allow them not to be killed. But they still get scraped up and cut up pretty well. And Akamaru kind of like, Akamaru, give it up, Kiba. Sorry about that, Akamaru, but you're pretty much done with this fight. I don't want to hurt you either. I hate hurting animals. Now it's just you and me now, Kiba. You can give up, or you can lose painfully. Like, lose to you? I'm gonna add you. And then he just pulls out his own shuriken, and then Naruto just chink. So, I made 5 clones. So the 5 clones, 2 of them disappear because Naruto quickly is starting to realize the amount of chakra he's putting into it, plus the clone jutsu, he's starting to tire out. So he can't keep this up for very long. But he's still got 4 other Narutos with him. So they'll come in. They decide to put some chakra into their legs, let Kiba fly by him again. This time just start, basically, they do a Uzumaki barrage. Just boom, boom, boom. Except it's Ultra Instinct. Uzumaki Ultra Instinct Barrage! There you go. Just boom, and they nail Kiba, and then Naruto comes in and does that axe kick straight to him, just pah, and then just boom. And then that's the end. Kiba loses, Naruto's the winner. So everything else goes the same. The pairings are the same. Naruto's facing off against Neji. So when we get to after the tournament, or after the preliminaries, Sakura, Naruto goes to see Kakashi about training, but Kakashi says, "Sorry, Naruto, I won't be training with you. I can't train you. I have to train. I have other things to do. You're gonna train Sasuke." Yeah, I know. It's like, look, I know you're upset. That's not fair, Kakashi. You gotta train me and all that. It's like, letting in, Naruto, Kakashi even stays. Like, look, I would train you, but A, Sasuke, I'm the only other person in the village with a Sharingan. It makes sense I should train Sasuke. And B, it's important to actually learn from multiple sources, not just one singular source. That's something that I think Kakashi didn't really explain well to Naruto, that he should have tried. Learning from other sources is actually very advantageous, and it can actually help him grow stronger anyway. It's like, Naruto's like, he would grumble, but that explanation would particularly from Kakashi, would probably suffice for him. Besides, I found you an even better teacher anyway. It's like, really? And that would be me. You closet pervert! So, yeah, you get a pervy or closet pervy sage. And yeah, that all goes the same, though. He does fare better against Ebisu initially, or better. Well, they don't actually fight, but goes about the same, honestly. And everything goes pretty much the same there. Granted, the whole water training exercise goes without a hitch, honestly, the first go around. Particularly A, because the Fox Chakra isn't sealed from him. And B, because he's training with Ultra Instinct has given him just naturally better chakra control than Naruto we know from the story. And Ebisu's just like, oh, well, I mean, it's like, that's very interesting. It seems my training techniques have really paid off. Which I was like, oh, for God's sake. And then Jiraiya knocks him out. And I think that's where we're going to leave it. Training for the finals of the tournament of the Chunin exams. So, yeah. If you'll look, Sakura lost that fight. And the reason Sakura lost the fight is because I do feel with the way Sakura would act, being that full of herself probably, and losing to Ino would definitely knock a bit of that chip off again as well. I feel Ino would actually have trained harder to match Sakura and take her on. So learning fire jutsu, particularly to handle wood, definitely would be an option there. And just better strategizing as well. Particularly when you watch that fight again, Ino had the better strategy overall, I believe. She took Sakura by surprise. If it wasn't for Naruto cheering her on, Sakura would have lost that fight. This was pretty much just kind of like the middle ground episode before we get into the main episode, because nothing drastically changed in this. Also, I think Kakashi would probably have Tenzo. His name is he took on the name Yamato, but Tenzo as well was his name he went by. I think he would have Yamato train Sakura. Well, he'd ask for a favor, and she'd talk to him, and he'd be like, "Oh wow, I can still train." Yeah, of course you still train. And besides, I'm probably the only person in this only other person in the village who can actually train you properly. And he would show off the fact he can do wood style. She's like, "Wow!" It's like, "Yep." So that's where we're gonna leave this off. Is that they're training. Naruto's training with Jiraiya. Sasuke's training with Kakashi, obviously. So yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So, excuse me. Ideas for Would Win, Star Wars, Super Magic, What If, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. See you next time.